Now that we have our HTML just basically outlined, there's nothing in design view yet. You can kind of see an outline of some boxes, but that's all there is. We haven't told this thing, you know, what the boxes are supposed to look like or what they're holding. We've given it no information yet. We're going to open up a new CSS page. Now, if you need to, right-click, new file, and call it, you know, style.css. All right. First thing we're going to do with our CSS style sheet is I put my name on it. And then I put the date. And then, you know, also I might put like a email address. That way if another webmaster needs to contact me and ask me a question, they can. And maybe I put something cutesy like original code. Feel free to borrow. I always put that on my stuff. I mean, it's I don't ever say, oh, don't borrow anything that I do, you know. No. I think that's silly when people do such things. Alright, now there's a very specific way that I build style sheets, and I want you guys to learn this because it's really, really important. And I don't know that the book doesn't go through it. A really good friend of mine out of California taught me to do this, and he does it. He codes other things besides websites, but good coding habit. And the very first thing he does is do tags. There's 3 things you're going to do. Okay? I'll make a comment here. We're going to do our tags. Just very basic tags. And how do we know it's a tag? Because it doesn't have a period in front of it. So a tag would be like body. And we're going to put some curly brackets, and we're going to define some things for the body. Some other things we're going to define as tags. We'll have an H1, heading 1, we'll have a heading 2, we'll have a heading 3, okay, things like that. Next thing, we're going to define styles. That's anything that starts with a period, right? So I have a couple of styles that I'm going to put in, but not right now. Okay, the really important part that we're going to put in here is, let's see, what do I usually call them? Start and main divided layers. You could also call this like page structure. These are your boxes, and what is going to control those boxes on the other page. Again, time's like slipping by just crazy fast on these. So what all do we have? Okay, we had wrapper, right, on our HTML. We want to put these in order. Promise me, you will not get your styles, your tags, and your IDs out of order. Put them in order of operation. It's really, really important. Nothing makes me more irritated when I come across a messy style sheet. Keep your code clean. Okay, then we have banner. Then we have navigation. I'm trying to hurry, so there might be some spelling errors. Something might not work, but we'll catch it, I promise. Because it simply won't work if I don't have this perfect. Content wrap. We have content top. Okay. References, if you need to copy and paste, copy and paste. You know, but you need to make very sure you don't have spelling errors in here or it won't work. And that's the very first thing. If it doesn't work, check your spelling. Content bottom, alright. And now we have a footer. Alright, so there's all my tags. I need to make sure. Okay, I've got my tags here. I have my IDs here. Notice that the ID has a number sign, that these are all lowercase, and that there's no spaces or funny characters within these. The brackets that I'm using are curly brackets. So I'm going to go back here. I'm going to take another look. This is looking pretty good. Now, as far as the keywords and the meta information, you've covered that already in the other chapters. I'm not going to do it because of time, but feel free to go ahead and do that. So on my wrapper, that's where I'm going to start. And I know for a fact, because we measured out our width, remember? And all those widths were the same. What were they? 737 pixels. So once I set that for the wrapper, because all the other little boxes are inside of it, it automatically cascades and makes all the boxes 737 pixels wide. That's the whole idea behind cascading style sheets. The style cascades, it inherits. It's called an inheritance. So once I set that width on the wrapper, and you know what I could do is take all of these and I'm just going to tab them in so you'll visually see that all of these are underneath this wrapper. They're inside of it. Okay, so my width there is going to be 737 pixels. I know that for a fact. Before I get too carried away doing my wrapper, let's go back up to the body tag and let's tell it a few things. What kind of things can I put into the body tag? One of the things I can do is over here in this test2.css is double click it, and I can set some things like the background color. I could drop that down and choose white. I can choose a font family, and I want to choose Arial Helvetica. I could set font size, and I think I'll go 100%. I'll just say 100% on that. Font weight. I tend to like bold fonts. Oh, this color's wrong, because this should be the color of the font, not the color of the page. Now on the background, that's where I set the background color. I'm kind of used to doing this by hand. I'm not used to using the... And part of that is I have so many style sheets on hand that I just copy and paste a lot of code, change some values, change some sizes, and once you kind of start building your code library, this becomes a lot faster. Okay, so I've set some things. I've set the background color. I set my basic text color. So I have some things set for the background. For the wrapper, I would like for this whole thing to center. And so I need that box in the middle to line up. So I was looking at this in Photoshop, and I thought this entire thing should probably sit in the middle of the page. Now you don't have to do it that way, but in order to get it to center, there's a little bit of a hack that you have to do. So going back to my wrapper, the width 737, and I'm going to put in a margin. I'm going to type 0 pixels, space, and then auto. And then I'm going to text align left. Okay, what this will do is make that box in the middle center. Alright, last thing I want to do before we run out of time, and we quickly are, is take our HTML page here and actually connect it to the style sheet. I need to browse, pick my style sheet, click OK, and now it's actually connected. And I can see that because this is centering, and we just told it to center. So now I can check back and forth. When I make a change over here, it'll show up on my HTML page. So in the next video, we're going to start adding some images and making this pop and look more like what you would think of as a normal website.